This is day 2 of target training with cones. I'm using them as a stationary target, and what I'm asking him to do is to just go touch a cone, and then I'll ask him to walk on and go and touch the next cone. I'm only rewarding when he touches the cone with his nose, and he only gets rewarded once at each cone. So once he touches it and gets a reward, he has to go to the other cone to get another reward. So if you watched my last YouTube video on this, the cones were a lot closer together. Today I started to separate them a little bit more, and I'm walking over towards where the cone is, but I start to stand further away from the cone, hoping that he'll go to the cone instead of coming towards me, even though he knows that I have the food. So you'll notice I might turn my back on him or stand a little to the side of the cone. And I'm just trying to test the bounds of how well he knows to go to the cone versus come to me, because we do a lot of him following me around the pastures. So I'm trying to differentiate that skill.
Target.
So here I'm waiting a little further away from the cone and kind of ignoring him, watching out of the corner of my eye, and there he touched it. Even though you can't see the cone, it's out of the screen, but he went straight to the cone instead of coming to me, which is good. That was not something he was doing very well before this. So we just keep going back and forth until he seems to get the concept of going to the cone versus just following me. And I keep reinforcing.
Target.
I'm also using the cue of me saying target. One of the reasons that I only just now started working with the cones and targeting them is because I was afraid that he would see cones anywhere out in the world and rush over to them. So I'm trying to only reward him when I say target, only reward him for touching them when I say target, and using that as a cue. So hopefully that will help him understand when he should or should not go to the cone, because cones are kind of everywhere if you're out on a trail ride or out in a riding arena or at a show. Sometimes they're used to mark different things. So I want him to understand that he's not supposed to go up to every single cone that he sees. So hopefully that'll help differentiate. So now that he has this skill down pretty well, what I'm going to do is put my neck rope on him, and I'm going to use the cones to help ask him to walk forward. This is a little harder for him because I'm not walking over to the cone that I want him to go to ahead of time. I'm asking him to walk on, and then once he gets moving a little bit, I will ask him to target. And you can see he's not really steering super well, which isn't something that I've worked on a ton with the neck rope, more just walk on and whoa. So I'm hoping that the targets will actually help us figure out how to steer, because I can steer him towards the target and then reinforce when he goes to it. So here I think he's starting to get the hang of it. A lot of times horses get kind of weirded out when you're walking next to them instead of in front of them when you're trying to get them to go places. So again, the targets really help with this a lot. But I'm super proud with how well he's done. This is literally the second day that we've done this, and we worked for about 10-15 minutes on it the day before this, and then for about 10 or 15 minutes on this day. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful for some of you guys. Feel free to leave a comment of any other training topics that you'd like for me to cover, or if you have any questions, you can subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me at Musgrave Equestrian on Instagram. Thanks.